Yay!
So with me are, we affectionately refer to them as the Taters, animators. Andy Cook on the right side of the screen.
Hi, everybody.
And of course Eric Doggett on the left.
Hi.
He is the guy that you have seen. I'm going to pull up the image because there's Doggett in all of his glory.
I'm sure it's a wonderful
His
picture.
naked glory.
I haven't seen it. Did it turn out good?
It turned out pretty good. Interesting, yeah. All right, whenever you guys are ready.
All right.
Can you tell us what you're going to be working on?
This is the assassin. So Cook is going to be doing the basic attack for her. There's something missing, Cook.
Oh, I guess I'll unhide those. There we go. Wings.
So this is our first winged character.
Only winged character.
First winged character. So she was actually modeled before we did this like race class split.
Yes.
So
we're basing all of the assassin animations on her because she was designed to be the assassin.
Exactly. But the wings are going to be a racial ability, so gliding and double jump. I think that's her racial abilities. So, like, what are the other Fae classes, Max?
Oh, I can look.
Is it Druid or
Druid
I'll pull up
and
the visual here.
Frostweaver, I think, are the only two other classes she's got.
The
Yeah.
Fae?
For now.
Yeah, so you
Assassin, Druid, and Frostweaver, yep.
yeah, so the Druid and Frostweaver will get the glide and the double jump, which is going to be exciting. The challenge with this character is the wings, obviously.
Yeah.
Because when you're looking at her from the back, the wings take up a majority of the screen, so we have to make sure that these poses read with the wings. So Cook has this blocked out, and he's going to start polishing the animation. And
I'm going to stretch this thing out a lot.
I'm going to stretch it out a lot.
Yeah. Alright, so...
Todd told me to do this. I apologize.
Oh, it's
I'm not
okay.
naturally a bully. You know, I'm a kind-hearted person.
I haven't heard you two bickering too much lately.
We've been too overwhelmed with all the changes we have to
I
do
believe-
to
Yes, you
spend our
have.
time bullying each other.
Yeah.
We didn't have time for it anymore.
Yeah, I told Todd that the stream is just going to be me and Cook crying.
So as you guys can maybe imagine, a lot of the race class split away from the traditional archetype system is animation work. And so that has fallen directly on Mr. Doggett and Mr. Cook.
Yeah, we spent time just proving that we could do it. We have an animation transfer tool that kind of does a good bit of the work for us, but you're talking about 90 animations a character, transferring it back and forth between the different rigs and then cleaning it up. So we had to spend a little bit of time R&Ding and streamlining that process as much as possible, and just seeing what it's going to cost us. So that's been our life for the past couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Well, at least we don't have any half-horse characters that you have to port animations to.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that would be a lot of work.
Yeah, the transfer tool, it goes great from like Knight to Ganetian actually is really easy, but Ganetian to human, not so much.
Yeah.
Same thing, like you would think like the Myrmidon and the Minotaur and the Half Giant would be great going back and forth, but Half Giant to Myrmidon, really good.
Yeah.
Minotaur to Half Giant, not so much.
The Half Giant has very short legs, and the Myrmidon has very long legs. And so while the Myrmidon's legs can crunch up really nice
all
and
legs.
fold, he's very leggy. They crunch up really nicely. The Half Giant not so much. His just leave the ground. He's like, I can't move like this.
She is going to be our fastest attacking character.
Yeah.
So we're keeping these attacks like really, really quick, precise, ninja-like.
This is 3ds Max room, right?
Yeah.
Really?
Come
Come on,
we can have that
you know it's gonna
conversation
get
again.
asked.
You know it comes up every time.
We're just gonna get it out of the way.
What is the best program to animate in, Cook?
The one that we use.
Wrong. Pen and paper.
Oh, there you go. I guess. I've
'Cause
never
with-
been all that good at drawing.
Well, with pen and paper, you don't get undos. I mean, you're
That's
committed.
true. That's true.
You have to be confident as an animator.
You could erase. Just saying. Right? Sorry.
Depends on. Depends.
They don't like when producers talk about art and how to art.
Max, I've grown to love you like a brother
Ugh.
from Alabama.
Let's just not.
We would have been like we would have played catch in the backyard. We would have watched Transformers together.
the show
high
or
fives.
The show, right?
Yeah, no, not the movies. Come on,
Cool. Just making sure.
had bad taste, but not that bad. Brought to you by Michael Bay. Any questions yet?
Kate said, "I would love to see Doggett animate a bouncy ball."
I had to find my bouncy ball animation from school. It was fantastic. It was a bouncy ball that had to open up a treasure chest. Guess what that bouncy ball did?
I'm guessing it opened a treasure chest.
It opened up that fracking treasure chest.
How does a bouncy ball open a treasure chest?
It doesn't have thumbs, so it was difficult.
Does it just bounce at it really hard?
Yeah,
until
it
the
kind
chest kind of
of
flops.
yeah, it
open?
kind of like bounced and like knocked the lid open, and then bounced against the lid and fell into it, and the lid closed on top of it.
Okay.
Then I put hair on it, rendered it out.
Mounting Wind asked, "How much transitioning is there between a standing or combat animation and this attack?"
Transition? Maybe a couple frames.
Like a tenth of a second,
It's
if
a
that.
tenth of a second, so it's about 3 to 6 frames.
Yeah, we try to get into these as quickly as possible. So
Yeah.
sometimes we don't even start. Well,
It's like that's
we're
why
actually
she's not even starting in the idle. Like the idle looks more like this. I've got her kind of crouched down. I might even start the animation like later, like here maybe, before she does the little flip of the knife, which I need to clean up. That way she gets into the attack a lot sooner.
and there's 2 blend points out of it. So probably at
Yeah.
frame 30, that's when she would blend into a run. So that's when it will allow you to like continue. Well, you can move and do this also because this will be split body.
It's going to be a split body attack. Like I have her moving forward in the attack, but in the actual game, it's going to look more like this. Turn this off, where she doesn't actually move when she does it.
And we have some tricky stuff going on so that it's not complete like mech split body. So when she's in the air, it'll be a full body animation. As soon as that foot hits the ground, it'll transition to the split body animation. That way we can still get spins and flips and flourishes without like sacrificing too much in the name of mobility.
Yeah.
And mobility is still like the #1 priority with combat right now.
Yeah.
Recall asked, and I'll pose this question to both of you, what are some of your favorite little touches of life you add to the characters with these animations? For example, facial expressions, finger waggles, foot sweeps, etc.
I'm a big fan of spins and the facial expressions. Those eyebrows are key to showing like the passion. Making those eyes kind of crazy looking as she's about to stab someone.
Get a reference from your wife. Hi, Liz.
No comment.
I personally love the Duelist. The faces he makes, those little snickers, and like
Yeah.
he's got like kind of a charming sneer that he does.
Yeah, a lot of those like micro fidgets I love doing in my animations. Like I like doing like the kind of like ear digs or nose twitches and stuff like that, or like takes. I love doing like little stuff like that. It's just it's more acting than action, so
Yeah.
it's a nice change of pace to what we normally do. Normally, Andrew takes care of all the. Sounds so adult. Andrew. Cook takes care of all the movement animations and locomotion animations. I usually take care of the idles and fidgets, and then we'll split up the combat abilities. Just trying to rely on our strengths. Is YB on?
Yes.
Well, Beast, man, it was nice meeting you at PAX. We'll have to do it again next year.
Give me just a second. Dake Helen asked, do you guys ever do deformations to make the animations pop more?
Like morph target deformations?
I would guess like
Is that what he's talking about?
deforming the model.
Sometimes I'll do. We'll have a special rig in there to where like we'll have a bone on top of the bone so you can scale it, so you can have like the stomach expand or like kind of like the anime like a Kira like with like the muscles like expanding and then like counter expanding, like you have like a bunch of stuff going on underneath the skin for transformations. I like doing stuff like that.
I like doing some stretching on the spine, so kind of gives it a little more elasticity and like run cycles and movement animations. But also when you're doing like faster attacks,
It leads the eye.
Yeah, it leads the eye a bit more. So
it's weird to watch.
Yeah. So like, I might actually squish her down a little bit here when she's about to leap, and then when she's at her apex, I'd pull it up a little bit. So
yeah, we'll even do some stuff like if you're throwing a ball, we'll break the elbow to like really kind of get like that whip motion going in. And by what I mean breaking the elbow, I actually hyperextend the elbow to where the arm is like this, just for a frame, and it just helps lead the eye. If you ever look at like a Bugs Bunny animation of him like throwing a ball, you see the famous Chuck Jones in-betweens, which are just absolutely fantastic. But if you go frame by frame, nothing makes sense. There's just some weird poses in there. But if you play it normally, it just leads the eye with those really quick cartoony motions.
That's interesting. From Rakal, for Mr. Doggett, what's the emote you're looking most forward to adding?
Dancing, of course. I don't know if I'll have time to do that, but that will eventually get in if I have anything to do with it. With my last dying breath, we'll get some dancing in post-launch.
Yeah,
no promises pre-launch. We want to give you the game first.
Yeah.
But I mean, anybody that knows me in real life, I like to dance. Not so much anymore ever since I hurt my ankle, but I used to do splits and the worm and.
You were quite acrobatic.
Yeah, I did a striptease for the president of Aspire when I was working there.
Yeah, I didn't need to know that.
Yeah,
you did. You needed to.
Yeah, they asked me to get up there and dance, and I just can't go vanilla,
That's right.
People want chocolate when they get the Doggett. They want triple chocolate. And so, I removed some clothes, and Mike Rogers had my clothes nice and folded and piled up for me when I got off stage. Might have led to my layoff, but
what'd she say?
We don't know.
Oh, she's just saying hi. It's Melissa.
Hey, Melissa.
What's up? Oh, they're good.
Don't worry, he's just saying, telling awful stories.
I thought you were telling him to stop singing for us.
Okay. There's a question about how tall the Fae are compared to other races. I'm gonna take us away from that story.
She's short. She's not the shortest. She's not a Ganesian, but she's about 5 foot tall, I think, if she was in real life. Right?
I don't know actual height.
Yeah, maybe, if the knight was 6 feet tall, she would be like 5.
Yeah, I think she comes up to about his shoulder. Maybe his chin,
but she takes up about as much screen space as a champion when her wings are on, like width wise. I noticed you're not wearing my t-shirt today.
No, I didn't wear it today. I thought the orange was a little too bright.
That's what my mom told me.
All right, that was good. That was pretty good.
Who decided to put you two in the same segment? Was it Todd?
Todd is an agent of chaos.
I seem like Todd is the only one crazy enough to approve that.
Yeah.
It's not a smart idea.
Even Gibson knows it was a bad idea. Mounting Wind asked, "Is there any chance we will see that long hair swishing about in its glory?"
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's a bone chain in there,
there is.
and she has like some for like a bone for like this curl here, and then the hair back here, and she'll also have like other hair options too. So
Yeah, there's some bones in there for the hair to swish around. I probably won't simulate it until after the animation is done to give it a nice flowing feel. And I'll even simulate some of the bottom feathers on the wings as well to give them a very like loose feel. Kind of add some extra life to the whole animation at the end.
now that we're talking about the wings, how do you feel about the wings cook?
Val approved that shit.
Do you really want me to say this out loud?
I love the wings. Cook doesn't.
I do not love the wings.
They're a lot to animate.
They are a lot to animate. It's basically like animating a second character.
Yeah.
They pretty much have a life of their own.
But it's cool to do like what I talked about with micro fidgets. Like during idle, I have her kind of puff out the wings a little bit, kind of like how you have a bird. They'll kind of do that when they're standing there. Just some cool stuff that the other characters won't be doing.
That's true. They do add some nice flavor, but I think they hide a lot of the silhouette in actions, and that's why I don't like them very much. It's not as much the difficulty of animating them as how much I don't like that they hide like the silhouettes. Like she gets some cool poses, and they get covered up.
Just let me know if you need any help. Have you ever seen Ghost?
Please don't touch me. Not while I'm animating.
And my darling, I hunger for your touch.
Are you guys animating 100% of the time? I can answer that one.
110% of the time, life is animated.
Oh,
You
man.
are 100% of the time that you're animating, you are animating.
Yes,
There you go.
that's true.
Yes. Yes.
Hang in there, Val. The day's almost over. The day's almost over. It's almost done. Oh, man.
So I'm really just trying to polish things at this point. I spent most of my day setting up her key poses.
Complaining.
Anywho, so setting up her key poses for the attacks, I figured, okay, I want her to kind of rear back and feel this before leaping in, and I wanted the attack to strike across so that it reads. And then this part will probably be blended out of, so I'm not as worried about the return. Any questions?
I'm asking for questions now.
They're like, yeah. Let's get back to the environments. I don't
Hey,
see any lighting
they look
here.
nice, man.
They do. They're beautiful.
They do look very nice.
All right, what do you hate more? This is from Tennis. Wings or centaur butts?
Wings.
Centaur butts.
A little bit of disagreement there.
By the way, Liz, thank you for my birthday present. It's kept my hands occupied.
Kate asks, are the wings used as a weapon as well?
Originally, we had planned for a number of the assassin abilities to be wing dependent, but with the shift to race class independence, we
It might look funny if the knight is like, ha!
and not doing anything with
Yeah.
those.
But we might do some and then do a variant for the non-winged characters.
Yeah, so I think the idea is to give her a little more flash as an assassin based on the wings, and then possibly having to reanimate some of the things to not work with wings
Yeah.
or work without wings. This part here, I want to feel more drag on the wing coming up. See how it just like pops back up?
Mm-hmm.
So Anthrage has a pretty interesting question that pertains to the splitting away from the archetypes and the race class combos. He asked, since the Fae can be druids and the druids have the dissipate blink power, will her wings get blown back a bit as she moves forward? And I might preemptively answer some of that myself. Isn't the blink power a wood elf? Is that a racial power?
I thought that was a druid thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think that's a druid
The blink,
power.
the right click
Yeah.
blink.
But you can replace that right click blink with her dash, which is the phase right click.
Okay.
So that's like a racial ability I think that you can swap out.
Okay, so then I guess on a broader question, when you address the Fae and putting new abilities, new kits on her, do you have to go in and tweak the animation so that they look right? Like, do you have to take her wings into account and go back and make adjustments for all of those different?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes.
This is she's one of our more expensive characters when it comes to transferring the animations because of the wings, and that's because we want to make sure that they're not just static objects on their back. So they're going to do something in every animation.
Yeah.
Apparently, Todd confirmed earlier that Blink is a Wood Elf racial ability.
Oh, it is a racial. Okay.
But still applies.
Yeah.
Is glitter still banned in here, Max?
Well, yes, because the last time, I think there's still glitter in the other studio from when you did it
Yeah.
before.
I blame Simon.
Yeah, I mean, he could have done a better cleanup job. I will say that you were the one who blew the glitter all over the ground. But he should have cleaned it up better.
Hey man, you don't get mad at a squirrel when he buries a nut, do you?
No. Awesome Tail asked, how hard is it to animate the guineas when they're so short and round? I imagine it's difficult to make animations that really pop with that as the base model.
He was actually a lot of fun to
Yeah,
animate.
he's
He was
because
very bubbly and just
bouncy and cartoony.
Yeah, it kind of freed us up because we didn't have to worry about kind of the uncanny valley sort of thing. You know, we want them to look right because their proportions are normal, right?
Yeah.
Whereas the Ganeshan, I mean, his proportions are so wacky that it allowed us to be more wacky in his animations.
So yeah, I would say not more difficult, more fun.
Yeah.
Spread glitter spell. I'm sure there's going to be some Doggett-inspired weirdness that makes its way into the game. I've got
Yeah.
a terrible feeling that's the case.
Tiger punch.
Was it the Confessor that had a Tiger Punch?
Champion has a tiger punch.
Yes,
Templar has a tiger
Champion does,
punch.
that's right.
And Confessor has a tiger punch for her unarmed base
We
attacks.
have 3 Tiger Punches in the game already. Did you sneak those in? Did Todd watch those and was like, yes, or...
Actually, the Ranger and Templar. Did you say those?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, now that I think
Yeah,
about it.
Todd trusts me 100%. Sorry. No, it doesn't. Not at all. You guys are in good hands. Todd's got the leash on me.
Good grief.
Right.
Tennis asked, have they animated Fae gliding or double jump?
I have not animated those yet.
We've been on discipline powers.
Yeah, we've been
Right.
trying to get the discipline systems kind of finished so that we could release them, and so the assassin got stalled a little bit while we kind of diverted our focus.
How many discipline powers did you guys get through?
Hundreds.
Really?
Well, I
Well,
mean, the powers.
A number of them had, kind of generic animations, so those were shared animations between a number of them. That was probably maybe almost half of them, but I think we
But
probably
then you have
made
to-
close to
And why is
50
it the effects
animations.
people have only gotten me a handful?
That is a good question for the effects people that I'm not going to throw
Let's
under
get
the
them
bus.
in
Yeah, and the disciplines
Pull 'em
took a
into
little
an
bit
impromptu
longer.
Interrogation.
The disciplines took a little bit longer than expected because, well, you know, like a little bit through the discipline powers, there was some kind of weird design change. So,
Yeah, a little bit of a design change.
so instead of them disciplines only going on certain archetypes, they went to everybody. So that extended that out a little bit.
Yeah. All right. You think I should start simulating some things?
Well, let's play it. Let's take a look at it. I haven't been paying attention. See it from the back.
420 Shrekety requested that we make Doggett's a playable race.
We've been saying that
Yeah,
forever.
I know.
A Doggett?
A Doggett.
Would it just look like him?
Yeah.
What are you thinking?
I don't know. No.
I mean, should we on the strike instead of having the wings curl in, like push them back on that strike to show the arms a little bit more, or is that just like a complete redo of all the wing stuff?
Pretty much a redo of the wing stuff.
All
Because
right.
also her body pivots so much, it's
Yeah.
kind of hard. Like I can't really pivot. I can't turn this wing much more without clipping it through her body and through this arm. This arm here. So trying to fan those out that way.
How many bones are in those wings?
About 34. About.
Yeah. They get LOD'd out,
Yeah.
so they quickly drop in bone count the further away you get from them for optimization.
Right. Bearded Beck asked, which of the missing characters are you most excited about animating?
Frostweaver.
Yeah.
Is that what he means?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And people
Well,
that we
yeah,
haven't
or-
done yet?
Or, I mean, like, you know, Stoneborn, we still have the Elkin left.
Frostweaver.
Yeah, she's gonna be fun.
She is.
Who can be a Frostweaver? Let's check. Frostweaver.
Moon Elf.
The Wood Elf, the
Wood
High
Elf.
Elf, and the Fae.
So yeah, this one. That's right.
Oh, man, I want that Elkin Confessor, man. I'm psyched for that.
Yeah, we all saw the video.
We know.
We know. Well, what are y'all gonna play? Do you have an archetype well, it's not an archetype anymore. A race class combo? Because y'all weren't in that video.
No, we weren't.
You weren't.
Uh,
was in the video.
Doggett
in
was
the
briefly,
video.
but he didn't say what he's gonna play. What he
Maybe
wants
he
to
was in
play.
the video. I'm just making a point.
Well,
Duelist
John.
is well, the Ganeshan Duelist is one of my favorites. Still. Bull Myrmidon. I'm kind of a fan of the old school, like
that's
Crowfall 1.0.
I'm actually still a big fan of the Knight. I wish we could get a Fey Knight, but
Fae Knight would be interesting. But now you can be a Ganeshan Knight, which is better.
well,
There's a lot of Ganeshan
that's
hate.
pretty cool. I actually like the Ganeshan
There is.
Knight.
There's a lot of
He-
racism.
He actually
We
came
talked
out
about
really
that earlier.
nicely.
Calling them hamster.
Rats. I've heard rats a lot.
Yeah, rats a lot.
Wabis asked, how do you process what you need to conceptualize the Fae? Like, you're making a character that has all these humanoid features, but you have additional weird extremities, like her wings. So what do you use for reference when you're animating something like that? Do you look at, like, a bird? Do you look at, like, an angel? Or what's the...
I guess
I look at you because you're an angel, Max.
Oh,
There's cartoons, anime,
yeah. There's a lot of
movies, like the X-Men movies has Angel in it.
comics.
There's some cool stuff that he does in those. And then just like studying bird anatomy and bird flights and stuff like that. And also it kind of comes when you animate long enough, you just kind of realize, okay, this is you treat this like another limb. Like I kind of think of them as like an extra set of arms on the back. Also, there's Gargoyles, which is one of my favorite cartoons of all time.
Gargoyles is
is
a
awesome.
great reference.
They got so much
Did you
right.
go back and watch Condor?
Yeah,
Do you know what that is?
yeah. And I used to love Condor, man. Had it on VHS. Guys, it's a square black box with tape on it. Like you can watch movies. They could fit an entire movie on there.
It was pretty cool
Yeah.
back in the day. All the cool kids
Some
used them.
VCRs, when they got to the end, would automatically rewind.
Yeah. I remember
Sure.
arguing with my grandmother. I rented a Nintendo game, and for some reason, because of habit, they put rewind or else you get a fee
Yeah.
on the Nintendo cartridge. And like it was a knockdown, drag out fight with my grandmother. She's like, "You got to rewind." I'm like, "You cannot possibly rewind this. There is no possible." She's like, "Well, I'm not going to pay $5 if you don't rewind this." I'm like, "Well, okay. How about if I hit reset? Well, then just shut you up."
You should have just gone.
I was still upset about
Put
that.
it in there.
Yeah.
I know.
See what happens.
I just couldn't like explain it to her like 8-year-old Doggett.
It doesn't rewind. That's not how it works.
They stopped doing that at Blockbuster because so many people got pissed off about the rewind.
When the competition stopped
And then
making them
Blockbuster
rewind.
started buying more rewinding machines.
Yeah. I have one in my house.
Yeah, remember you could buy
It rewinds
like a
fast.
car. Yeah.
And you just pop it in, and it's
Yeah,
all it does.
that's all
Rewind
it
your
does.
tapes.
Rewinds. Oh man.
Yeah, some nice subtle like flaps that she's going through.
Yeah. Try it. It's so hard. Please.
How long have you been working on this animation, Cook?
Just today. So I came in a little late today because I got
This kid was sick.
yeah, stuff was going on, but just pretty much just I think I did a couple of the poses without the wings. I didn't touch the wings last night. So, but I only worked on it for about maybe an hour last night. But so I don't know, maybe about 7 hours so far that I've been working on this animation.
About 15 minutes trying to get your computer to start before the stream.
Yeah, no kidding.
He brings his computer over and just completely just stops. Just stops computing.
It's like, nah, I'm not
just
gonna
won't
work
I'm done.
anymore.
Won't
I'm
do
not
it.
gonna work
Give up.
anymore.
It's a Doggett stream, so of course, like, something's going to happen.
And I'm used to having my own so I'll just use this.
Yeah, the infamous graph editor. So these are animation curves. So everything that we do, a rotation of an arm, a flap of the wing, a step of a foot, is all translated into curves. And this is what's in Max, and this is what goes into Unity. So this way, you see all these like dots on the screen, and these are all the keyframes, and he's putting in some overlap and smoothing out the curve so there's not any kind of like minor hits.
I heard a rumor that you don't like using the curve editor.
I use a curve editor. No, it's very important. I mean, it's a fine level of polish, and I've seen animators that just can like completely bust out animation just using the curves.
Yeah.
Like, whereas I want the hits to be in a very specific spot at a very specific time, whereas they'll futz with the curve to kind of get it there, and it's
Everyone animates.
yeah,
a little
everybody
different.
yeah, exactly. My lead at King's Isle, he would just knock the dust off in the curve editor, and he was very big pose to pose. Learned a lot from him. Mike Boyce, if you're watching, miss you, bro.
boys. It's hard to use this thing.
So what happens when you export? The exporter actually put a keyframe on every single point on that curve, and bake that out. And it's called like resampling the curve or just baking out the curve. And when it gets pulled into Unity, we compress that. So it takes a look at the curve and it tries to recreate it with as little keyframes as possible. So basically like the animation size will go from like a megabyte to 10 kilobytes.
Yeah.
That's something that we have to do. But A lot of times if you see a character standing there and you see their feet kind of moving like this, like sliding, that's usually from animation compression, because the legs need to be counter animated every single bit of that animation to hold them down. When you do animation compression on the curves, you lose that fidelity. So that's what you'll see in games. Whenever you see that, it's usually due to animation compression, not a lazy animator.
Hero asks a pretty awesome question. How will you make powers read the same across races with such different silhouettes? Will we be able to recognize an Elkin fireball and an Athari fireball as the same power?
I think the effects will add a lot of that uniformity, because it'll be using the same effects, like the colors and the timing and all that stuff will be the same between the races and the classes. So especially with disciplines, it'll level out with the effects. The silhouette may be different, but you'll still recognize the pose. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And that's a great question. We also have to take in a lot of account of like gender in these animations. So the druid is very, very feminine, like with her walk and a lot of her attacks. So when we get the male druid, there's actually going to be an animation pass where we make it masculine.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's not going to be a hippie walk for him.
I mean, we could. We had that.
Oh, we did that on the Myrmidon. Yeah, the Minotaur. Transfer the druid's walk over the Minotaur. And
he was pretty
fantastic.
Fabulous.
Yeah.
He was pretty fabulous. Yeah, that was.
But yeah, that's a part of the cleanup process, just to make sure that like not only does the animation look good, but does it read. And that's something that's going to be ongoing all the way through ship. And, there's making the animations, then there's refining them after gameplay is, after we play it and get feedback and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So we started a little bit late, and it's almost 5.
Oh my gosh, it is already 5.
So we'll go maybe another 10 minutes, and then we'll get Todd and Blair in for the Q&A.
All right,
Cool.
Let's bring magic some of this.
Yeah, let's get them ears flopping around. So. I love this thing. So if you notice, those ears don't move at all in this animation, really. But we are going to make them move. That look good?
Yeah.
Spliff Sama says, please tell Doggett when he makes something dance to make the Ganeshan do the hustle.
All right.
I've made the suggestion. I've done my part. Whether or not he takes
It's in my hands.
It's in Doggett's hands. He says, please, please.
I think Todd's gonna come in pretty soon.
Okay. I told him 10 minutes, but the reality is that you're done when Todd kicks you out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like most things.
See how that looks. They actually go too far back, I think.
Yeah, I probably would have put it at 2.5, make them a little bit stiffer.
Yeah. I think you might be right.
It's rare, but sometimes I am.
I closed it, didn't I?
Broken clock. It's right twice a day.
I'm actually going to do one other thing. I'm going to stop her moving forward while I'm doing this. That way, they don't get pulled back too far.
I don't know. Every time I see ears moving independently, I think of Goonies Sloth. Like when he's talking to Chunk, like, "But Sloth would Chunk." Baby Ruth.
Oh,
It's fitting.
I hated that movie just because of that character.
Anthrax asked, so has Doggett been animating a tiger in game in his spare time for one of the new biomes? Winky face.
Not yet. I don't know why I need that many animations. It's like idle and death. What's a tiger gonna do?
Just get one punched.
I had a dream that was One Punch Man the other day.
That must have been an awesome dream.
I one punched a lot of stuff.
I don't blame you.
It was a lot of inanimate objects though. Stop signs, fire hydrants.
That's what you decided to punch?
I'm weird in my dreams.
You just obliterated stop signs?
Yeah, it was almost as epic as my Star Trek, Alien, Superman, Doctor Who crossover dream. Like, it was like Doctor Who and Worf and Superman and me, and we were fighting off like xenomorphs.
Oh, Todd, please come
Dude,
on.
that's awesome.
Yeah, Todd, where you going?
And I wasn't like Superman or Worf or anything. I was me, because that's all you need.
Just give me an
All
error.
right, shut down the stream.
I should.
I wonder if I lost the ends on those.
The end bones? No?
These are all good.
Sometimes it gets a little weird when you simulate multiple ones.
Yeah.
So
Always
sometimes I'll
something.
just like run them through like one at a time.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
He doesn't listen to me.
No, I don't. We've been working together for far too long for me to listen.
And I'm going to be moving right across the street from him in a couple of months.
It's actually pretty exciting.
Yeah. I want a train that goes from my house to Cook's house and then loops around back to my house. And I want to ride on that train every morning so we can carpool to work together. Love you.
Might be too much.
Oh, man.
That
Live
was so
streaming.
awkward.
It's an instinct to sniff your hand after you touch something to make sure that it's not an
All right,
infection.
let's not talk about this now. Let's not get back into this. We had a...
Let's see. So it's not-
Like, you touch something really smelly, you're like, no!
All right, you're out.
I think if we put Dave... Yeah, somebody mentioned... Can we have... Nicholas Limerider asked if we could have a Dave and Doggett podcast. I think the company would go under.
Yeah.
I feel like it would just be such a PR nightmare.
Where's he going?
I'm about to go grab him. All right. Any appropriate closing statements from you guys? Anything you want to end with?
I think you guys are done.
Also answer questions on Twitter, Doggett3D.
Yes.
Can you put it up right here, Gibson?
I can.
Doggett
put
3D.
chat at Doggett3D.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
not in control of this.
What do you do here?
Not anymore. I supervise now.
Yeah.
You supervise. All right.
And so this is going to chain into two other attacks. So this is just the
Yeah,
first part of
this
the
is
base
just the
attack.
first. Just the first. So I think for the second one, I was going to have her actually spin back
Mhm.
and attack with this arm. Kind of do like a twist and attack this way.
They've been asking about boob physics.
Yeah, we might as well just ask it. Everyone's asking about boob physics.
Oh, we haven't really invested in boob physics.
There you go.
There you go.
What's that game that Animator plays?
Age of Conan.
Oh, Age of Conan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They sure invested in.
Yeah, they asked about a
Yeah,
dome
that's-
slider too. No, we don't have that. It's not something we're going to invest time in.
Not yet.
Maybe in an expansion.
Some other
It's
time.
DLC. No, it's not. I don't think that's on the schedule. I'm proud of you, Doggett. No comment. I'm.
I know.
Well,
Pretty
you know,
hard on
I'm.
this one.
Yeah, I tend to avoid those topics. Like, I'm wrong in many ways, but that's a big no-no. You know, especially, like, I don't want Melissa coming in here and kicking my butt, or Val, our
Yeah.
Val, our Susie, our Aislinn. I mean, I have respect for my female coworkers, just not my male coworkers.
There you go.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up there. So
Seems like a good place to end it.
thanks, guys. We're gonna slam on the brakes.
Bye, guys. Thanks for dropping by and checking out the assassin. We'll get her in game as soon as she's done. So
So watch for a long time.
yeah.
All right, thank you guys. Thank you guys for watching. We're going to show the environment video one more time as we transition, and then when we come back, it'll be Todd and Blair talking about. Well, they're going to wrap up and do a little bit more Q&A.
Are my hands sweaty?
No, it's just really cold.
They are. They
Mine
kind
are,
of.
mine are sweaty.
Yeah.
We will be right back.
No infection.